No way, bro. There's no way. What is happening right now? Alright, so when I come to Superstore, I actually usually have my cart bag. Today, I have my stand bag just a little bit overfilled with clubs. I got like a bunch of different kinds of wedges. I got different shafts, different clubs that I wouldn't normally have, 2 different mini drivers. For me, it's about having options because I don't want to wish I had something and not have it. So we got a lot of golf clubs here, a lot of putters, and first thing I want to start with that I'm really trying to, when I do come to Superstore, I'm usually tinkering with things because they do have the Trackman here, and actually every bay, but we're here on the first bay, and it's a really nice spot for me to kind of like check the differences between 2 clubs. So like I have 160 degree here, I have 160 degree here, and they're different bounces and different types of wedges, even though they're the same degree. So first thing I'm going to do today is see how these differ on like those tricky 60-yard shots. That is something I know I need to work on because in my last tournament, I was kind of struggling. I always set an alignment rod or a shaft down just to make sure I'm staying, good with my fundamentals. It's amazing how right I tend to aim whenever I don't put a shaft down in the simulator bay. So none of that today. Just put it parallel to my target line and we're good to go. So I'm going to start with the Opus SP60, and then we're going to move on to the Opus SP Plus. This one's like a little bit lower spinning, lower launch. And I'm just going to try hitting 60-yard shots, pretty standard. Carry 60 yards. I'd say I tend to err on leaving it short on the first few of the day. This is my first swing of the day, so let's see how close we can get. Alright, so yeah, that carried 58 yards. A little bit of a pull. We don't like that, but it did kind of carry what I'm looking for. So I'm going to hit a few more and just get acclimated with what my conditions are looking like today, and then we'll go from there. I'm only trying to hit that 60-yard carry number. I'm not really worried about mechanics at all right now. So that was 59-yard carry. Spin is actually pretty high. I wasn't expecting it to be quite that high, but I like that. And I'm going to hit one more, and then I'm going to talk about the launch angle. So that carried 63. So the pattern right now is they're all starting a little bit left, which makes sense because my club path is slightly left, but my face is also closed. So that just means I'm not opening it up enough on the way back. But again, I'm not worrying about that quite as much right now. I'm worried about more of the carry yardage, which I'm carrying it within that, plus 4 on each side. So the feel's decent today, regardless of how the swing might be. Let's see what that launch angle. Okay, so 31.2 launch. That one was a little bit nuked. Okay, so before we address why I'm pulling it, we're going to go to the 60-degree Opus SP Plus. Now, like I said, this is supposed to be a lower spinning wedge, and it's it's a higher spinning, lower launching wedge. So you should see that spin jump up a touch, and that launch angle go down a little bit. Yeah, so that launch angle definitely went down. It actually carried too far, but it was still a lower launch. Let me try to ease off of that and hit it more like 60, not 70. Yeah. So that's pretty crazy. So just because of the change of the golf club, no change in technique, that launch angle comes down a lot and spins a ton. What up, dog? This is my dog.
Seen you in forever.
How you been?
Good.
Cody, say what's up. Cody's my guy. He works here. All right. Don't want to hit the pipe. All right, so 66 carry. Again, that launch angle staying under 30. So, yeah, it's definitely lower. And it looks like I'm actually hitting a little bit straighter than that other one. Let me hit one more, and then we'll move on. All right, so I like this wedge better. This is going to be, I don't want to overthink it too much. So I just like that it's flighting a little bit more than my other Opus. So we're going to go ahead and keep this one in the bag for now until I have a reason to switch it out and do this again. So when I come to PGA Tour Superstore, that's usually the first thing I do is I address any issue that I'm having with my wedges. I've been feeling like I've been pulling the 60, and as you can see, I absolutely was. For whatever reason, this one just fitting me better right now. So we're going to keep this one in the bag, and now I'm going to do a little bit of a ladder drill just to get me acclimated. So what I normally do is I go 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. And when I can get within plus or minus of 3 yards for 2 shots in a row, I can move on. So we're starting with 30. All right, 31 yards carry. So that's perfect. Let's see if I can do one more. Not quite. So let me do one more before we move on. That was 36 carry. That should be good. No. Juiced it. So that's why I think it's important to do more than one, because it could just be a fluke. Yeah, okay, so that's perfect. So that was 31, so now we can move on to 45 yards. Not that you ever want to leave yourself a 45-yard shot, unless you're really good at those, but you are going to have them sometimes, so you got to practice them. All right, so that was perfect, 47 yards. Like I said, I want to be plus or minus 3 yards. I say 3 yards, I mean 10%. So 10% is, not 10%. What am I saying? Scratch that. 3 yards throughout all the way to 90. All right, perfect. So 2 in a row. That was 46.8 carry, so now I can move on to 60. And really, the goal is to get through this fairly quickly. I think wedges are the most important part for playing good golf for me personally, outside of hitting it in the fairway. And so addressing the wedges very first thing when I get here is number one priority. All right, 60 yards carry. Do 2 of those. Maybe juiced it. I juiced it just a little bit. So 65 carry. .47 carry. So this is where I feel like I start to struggle. Like that 60-yard number, I just am not that good at. That should be good. Nope. All right, so 53 carry. As you can see, I'm struggling on this one just a little bit. Again, 53 carry. .53 carry. So I'm trying to carry at 60, not 53. .54 carry. So I know I said at the beginning of the video I tend to leave it short. This is kind of the yardage is 60 and 75. I tend to leave it a little bit short on that carry. There we go. 57 carry. So one more of those, and then we can move on. 75. There we go. 58 carry. All right, so now 75, then 90, and then we can move on to more of the full swing stuff. The bulk of my time here at Superstore is with my wedges. It just is. But we will get to the full swing stuff. 75 on the dot. Okay. So that was 72.3 carry, so that's good. We just need one more. And then I can move on to 90. Yep, 76. And that's pretty typical for me. I do decent on the 75, but for whatever reason, the 60 is just such a odd yardage for me. But this Opus SP Plus is feeling really good compared to my regular Opus. Don't know why, but the numbers just told me this is what I need to be hitting today. So 90 yards with the Opus SP Plus 60. Let's see if I can get it done in just 2. Yeah, carry 92. Let's do one more of those. Then we can get into more of the full swing stuff. Yeah, that wasn't so hard. Again, that's pretty typical for me. I tend to take more time on the 60-yard shots and usually the 30-yard shots. Let's move into, I'm just going to go straight to my odd clubs. So I'm going to go 54 and then up from there. Even clubs. What am I talking about? Goes 55, pitching wedge, 8-iron, so on and so forth. And if I have 30 minutes at Superstore, basically the goal for me is to just touch on everything and to get a little bit of an idea of where everything's at. So I don't focus too much on one particular club after my wedges. It's just touching everything and feeling like, good, okay, I've done everything today. So I want to hit this 120 with a little bit of a draw. Let's see if I can do that first try. Pretty close. So 118.4, 119.7 total. And it drew. So it's like, why would I keep hitting more? I wouldn't. And like I said, I'm hitting my even number club, so I got pitching wedge. And depending on the day or how I'm feeling, I'll kind of give myself a yardage I want to hit. So it's not like I'm trying to hit the same yardage each time I come in here. So today I want this pitching wedge to carry 153 with a little bit of a draw. So that was 146 with the draw. I think if I had a little bit more draw action, it would have been closer to that 153 mark. So 153 with the draw is what I'm looking for. Yeah. 153.5 with the draw. That's what I said I wanted. right, now we got 8 iron, and I want this to draw, but not quite as much. So I want this to carry 180. 180 carry. So a nice full 8 iron. Yeah. All right, 180.7 with the draw. We're hitting our yardages. We're going. We may not need 30. What's up, bro? We may not need 30 minutes. I am smoking through these things. So I'm like halfway done through my 30-minute practice, and truthfully, I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm already up to the 6 iron. I've hit every single yardage exactly the way I want to, which I might be dreaming, but maybe not. This could be real life, and I'm actually knowing what I'm doing somehow. All right, so 6 iron. This one's going to be a little bit different. So clearly I can hit the draw. Let's see if I can hit something that goes straight or falls right and hit a finesse shot. So normally my 6 iron goes like, Dan, how far does my 6 iron go? Like 215, 216 carry? Okay, so clearly I can hit the full draws right now. I've been struggling hitting fades with anything over 7 iron. So let's see, just to humor myself, let's take off of the 6 iron, carry it 203 with a little bit of a cut. So different shot shape, different club. My guess is I don't get this on the first try. If I do, I will be very shocked. No way, dude. This is uncut. I swear to you. I'm doing things I'm not used to doing in Superstore. But that's great. I'm very happy about that. I haven't smiled that big on a golf course in a very long time, and I'm not on a golf course. I'm in a simulator, but still, that feels kind of nice. All right, I'll challenge myself. So 4 iron, I can wail on this thing, hit a big draw, 250 carry if I want to, but that's not where I struggle. I struggle on taking off of things. And so let's see if I can hit like a low flighted Chance Taylor cut that carries 227. So we're not only working it to the right, but we're also hitting it a little bit lower. See if I can do that first try. No way, bro. There is no way. What is happening right now? 226.5 carry, and it was low. I mean, 8 degrees of launch is low by any standard with a 4 iron. Okay, cool. That's sick. All right, so really this practice session is just to kind of let me know where I'm at. So truth be told, even though I am a member at a golf course, I will come here to Superstore before I play golf a lot of the time because it's a controlled environment. I'm not getting like hot and sweaty. I can come in here and use my my club pass whenever I want, and Players Club Pass, and Players Club Plus. I'm so dialed on my yardages, it's hard to focus on correct terminology. Apologies, Superstore. But I will come in here a lot of the times and opt to hit balls in here before I play a round of golf because, like I said, it's a controlled environment. I can see immediate feedback on the Trackman bays, and I just don't get that at my home course. All right, so we got 3 iron, and I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with that 4 iron. I'm just going to try to hit a fairway finder, low cut, about 250. I know I can whale on this thing and hit it 285, 290 if I really want to, but I'm playing a lot of tournament golf, and you don't always need the big shots. So let's see if I can go 3 for 3. All right, so it was a miss hit. I caught it thin, but it was low and cutting, and it went 245. So not a good shot, but it was a good miss. I saw Roger Steele posted something about puring shots is awesome, but as a tournament golfer, it's actually really cool for your misses to be very playable, and I totally agree. I really like that miss, even though I hit it bad. Let's do it one more time. All right. So it took me 2 shots to do what I wanted to do. Carry 249, low cut, fairway finder. We love it. All right, so I got mini driver, and this is kind of my bread and butter off the tee, if I'm being truthful with you. This is the new Quantum mini driver, which I just put in the bag a couple days ago. And I really want to see what the spin's doing, because this is actually my first time seeing numbers on the Trackman with this blue shaft. I was surprised when Johnny Thompson sent me this blue shaft, because usually I'm in a black, but let's see what the spin numbers do. I guess I should say a shot shape I want. I want to see just a kind of a mid-flight cut. So take off of it just a little bit. Maybe goes 280, 295. So caught that a little low on the face. Spin was really high, and I want to see what happens when I pure one, because to be expected low on the face that's going to happen. It was definitely the shot shape I wanted, but let's pure one and see if I can get that spin closer to like 32 or 3,300. $3,600 spin, carry 291, total 299. I'm very happy with that. I would call that kind of a low ball flight for a mini driver. And I would say like 180, 182 ball speed with mini driver is definitely that fairway finder type shot for me. Like I said, I'm playing a lot of tournaments lately, so I'm putting a huge emphasis on control and getting it in the fairway. 3,600 is good, but let me see if I can get it a little lower than that. Still with the cut though. Very interesting. I mean, those are all really good shots for tournament golf. Spin's just a little bit higher than my current mini driver. I'll hit one more. Yeah, so that was lower spinning, but I had to tow it. My mic came off. I intentionally towed that one to see what the spin would do. And yes, it's not a big deal, dude. I did intentionally tow that one, I promise. Call me a liar if you want, but I did. And the spin dropped. It carried 302, only 178 ball speed. But I'm still gonna have to do some more testing with this to see if that's the right profile with me. Five, okay. I would say the driver is the weakest part of my game at the moment, unfortunately. I I think because I am trying to hit a lot of squeezer cuts off the tee, my tack angle is a little bit down. And since I'm in the middle of tournaments and everything, I'm not trying to fix that too much. I'm just kind of avoiding the driver altogether. But we'll hit a few and see if I can just, I don't know. I hate to admit I am so scared of the driver right now, but let's just see what happens. No real expectations here, other than it's probably going to be negative attack angle and cutting. Yeah. So that was a lot of spin. 4,200 spin, which is way too much. Not hit very good. It very well could be a mental block. Who knows? We're gonna hit one more, and I'm probably not gonna mess with driver too much more after this because I was feeling really good about my game until this. Yeah, just not quite striking it. Way far on the toe, not pure. And I think my mini driver is going further than my driver right now. But you know what's weird? Watch this. When I pause at the top, look how much better my launch conditions are. It makes no sense. It's 192 ball speed, 2,100 spin, 331 carry. Pretty much what dreams are made of, but not my dreams. And it feels easy, like that felt easier pausing than whatever the hell those other swings just were. So if someone's watching this and can explain why I'm doing that, you saw it real time, please help me. And I mean that sincerely. I think we are, what are we at? Like, we did say it's a 30-minute practice session, so 27 and a half. So I would say if I took out a little bit of the talking at the beginning to my friends, I would go putt a few and just make sure my starting lines are good. How about I do that? Look, I have 3 putters I'm looking at right now. I have the Odyssey 7T AI milled face. This is kind of my go-to. I have the Odyssey 7 center shafted tri-hot. Really like the grip on this one. And I actually start that one online probably better than all of them, but I think maybe I need to get a lesson from somebody that knows how to use a center shaft because I just struggle with it on speed on the longer putts. And then I have this one, which actually might be my favorite of all of them. I picked this up at a Superstore, 2K21 on the face. It's a 2-ball triple track, and it was used here at PGA Tour Superstore. And I picked this up when I was in Jacksonville, Florida for a Callaway shoot, while the rest of my team was at dinner. And I keep trying to use this one. I keep trying to use it, and it just it doesn't like me on the 30 to 40 footers at all. I leave everything short, and I'm sure that's just my fault, but I'm gonna go and take these and check the starting lines on all of them, and then I'm gonna hit probably 5 30 footers with all 3 of these putters and just kind of jot down what the tendency is on my speed for each putter and just track that until next time I do the same thing here at PGA Tour Superstore. I think that's about 30 minutes, and I hope you learned something. And if you didn't, watch it again because I promise you will learn something. But this is my favorite place to be, to practice, get better at golf, and honestly see my friends because everyone that works here is just great. Until next time, see you soon.